had a dinner with a gentleman by the name of David Greenbaum, who's a very close friend, and he is the president over at Disney Live Action Films. And I sat down with David and my lead agent, Brad Slater, and we had a great dinner. And at the end of the dinner, I said, David, I have an idea to pitch you. And this was a couple of years ago. I said, what if we did, with the release of our new film, live action Moana, what if we did an adjacent album that was inspired by the film? And we take this opportunity and we shine the light on these Polynesian artists all around the world who aren't globally famous, but man, they sing from the heart and they sing from the soul. And the truth is, I told you, Lauren, right when I got home, I said, it will be myself. I'll EP it with Lauren. And we have Tiana, we have Kayla. It will be the four of us EPing this. And of course, David already knew who Tiana and Kayla were for all the amazing work they've done on all of our Moanas as advisors, cultural advisors. And and the truth is, as you guys know, I couldn't finish the sentence before David Greenbaum said, I'm in. We're in. And that's what we want to do. And then that was it. And then from David, it went to Alan Bergman. It then went to Bob Iger. It went to Dana Walden. It then went to Tom McDougall, Paolo de Costa, Danny Markman. And then Tiana and Kayla, please jump in here. When we gave you guys a call and when Lauren called you about this amazing project.
Well, just to rewind a little bit, the fact that you had that vision, both of you, and you had that conversation, there's not a lot of us that would have had that dinner. So for that to be brought up, and then before you can finish your sentence, I'm in, that can be easily overlooked, but it came from you, and it was both of your vision. And so that gives us a chance. And so when you guys had contacted us and we were talking story, as island folks do, talk stories, we laugh, and then you guys brought this up. It was just another part of this Moana journey that we're just so honored to be a part of. And then when we're talking music, that is definitely our domain in terms of the Polynesian music and dance scene, and these artists that are part of this project. For us growing up, I mean, that is our household names. But being born and raised here, what an amazing opportunity and platform for the rest of the world to hear the vibrations of our voice, the tonation, and just hear Polynesian soundscape maybe in a different way they've never heard it. And so here we are at SiriusXM for execs.
Hey.
It's but it all starts from that vision and conversation. Yeah. We wouldn't be here if that wasn't had.
Lauren had brought this up, just coming from a musical background. And for those of you who may not know, Lauren's dad proudly played drums for the band Boston, the rock and roll band, the iconic band.
Shout out, Dad.
She's music royalty.
She's music royalty. Shout out to Sibby.
Yes, Sib,
and
Grandpa Bop.
Kayla, when we called you, when Lauren called you guys, you've been so closely tied to not only music and culture and dance and choreography with Tiana and Nonosina, but you've been so closely tied to the Moana universe that we've tried to build over the years. What was your thoughts and your reaction when that call came in?
Like Tiana said, we were so honored to bring the vision to life. As all the conversations continued, it became clear that this could become such a bigger than an album. It was more of a celebration of our people, our stories, and the incredible talent that exists through the Pacific.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And I'm just going to give this up to you guys. When you first envisioned the project, what did you hope the album would achieve, like artistically and emotionally for the listeners?
Okay, I'll start there.
Yeah.
I think we wanted the sun, the moon, and the stars for the album. We really just wanted to give these artists a chance to show how incredible they are. Because they are, and because fans need that. You know, we need music, we need good musicians, we need voices. You know, we're always looking for that new artist who feels like we discovered them. And for these artists, they're still there at that level where people feel like there's a sense of discovery to these artists. Some of the artists on the album are very established. Some of them are more emerging. And we just know they're going to connect with so many people. So our first Zoom conversations, inviting the artists on, were so much fun. It was like everybody would pop up on the screen and there were just smiles and celebrations explaining what this is for, what this is about, that we wanted them to bring it, but that we wanted the artist to we wanted the artist to interpret this opportunity.
Interpretate is a word.
Interpretate,
Yeah, we
what
make
is,
up
what
the
is
rules.
it a combination of? Duplicate and interpret.
Have some more Tiana.
Interpolate.
I'm the one who hasn't been
Interpolate.
drinking. So we wanted the artist to interpret this opportunity in their own way. But we explained, like, we wanted to relate to Moana thematically. There's so many different themes and symbols and moments in Moana that grab us, that are poetic and beautiful to write songs about, but it's also culture. Moana's fully your culture. And it's so proud, and everybody is so proud. So no matter what you sing about, no matter how you interpret it, it's going to be right. It's going to be perfect. And then everybody just went off into their thoughts and imagination, and everybody brought the best song to us. We would be crying hearing these demos.
I mean, that was the thing that really stood out to me. Was, and Tiana and Kayla, I want to ask you guys a question here. What really stood out to me was as these songs were coming in, for example, Stan Walker, he was the first one to get his song in. And I heard that song and I was so moved by that. I mean, moved to tears. I mean, I'm a big baby sometimes anyway, so, I get emotional, especially with music. But his song was so beautiful. But what I realized was, oh, yes. Every artist, they're going to send it, just like Stan, they're going to send in a song that they are singing from their guts. And this isn't about, hey, I'm going to hit the club, I'm going to do the thing. Now there's a place and a space for that, of course, in music.
We needed one or two of those.
Yes, we got a few of those.
We needed one or two.
We got a few of those, but you realize, like, oh, these artists this is my soul, and this is my culture's soul, and my ancestors' soul, and that's what they're singing from. So, Tiana and Kayla, I got a question for you guys. Can you just share, like, overall, the natural storytelling that just happens in our culture through music, for the listeners listening all around the world? What is it that makes that so important to our Polynesian culture? Music.
Storytelling is everything. Before books, before technology, before recordings, our stories were carried through song, chant, dance, genealogy, and oral tradition. That's how knowledge survived. That's how history survived. That's how culture survived. Music has always been one of the ways we preserve who we are and pass those stories to the next generation. And I think that's why projects like this matter so much. They're not just songs. They're another way of carrying our stories forward.
And what better way to do that than through music, right?
Yes, right.
So powerful, and it's universal, right? And so I think with our ancestors, like Kayla said, even reciting our genealogy, which is really huge. Polynesians, we know our family last names, our villages. That's how we make connections. How did we memorize this? Is we make it into a chant. We make a rhythm, right? How did we memorize, these stories of our ali'is, of our chiefs and chiefs?
Yeah.
That's Mom's favorite song.
That's right. That's how I know the village. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a perfect example, live and direct right now, is we remember them through song, through music. And I think that is, we are storytellers, we're navigators, we're warriors. It's all one.
And that's the thing I feel like always comes out in our music is the storytelling aspect about our music. And what I also love about our Polynesian music is it could be big, bombastic, it could be fun, depending on how you put it together. But then also at the root of it, it's always about there's a core integrity that you hold on to. there's a humility that is in our songs too as well. There's fun and there's dance to it, but there's also just a respect and a pride.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that is one of the pillars of the culture. We have the pillars of the fale of our traditional houses.
Yeah.
Part of that is that respect, that fa'alono. It's we have to have that respect, paying homage to the ones before us, those who love us,
That's right.
and all of those, core things that keep us rooted.
I love that. And when you were, because you guys kept very close to the artists, like Lauren, when you talked to the artists, and when all of you talked to the artists, it was important, I'm assuming, that you guys told them, hey, listen, here's the idea, the conceit is Moana, that's our storytelling, but you got to actually make it your own.
Yeah, and I think one of the important elements of this, making sure it was feeling like everybody could take ownership over their songs and really feel authentic, was not making it just an English song album, making sure that they put their language into it. So there's Maori, there's Tongan, there's Samoan. We have a gentleman from the Cook Islands, Rex. We have Tahitian. So there's languages throughout the Polynesian triangle in there, but there's also English. There are some songs that are in both. And the cool thing about that too is I think these days in this time that we're living in, music is not confined anymore. You don't just have to listen to music from your state or even your country or even in your own language. We all listen to Bad Bunny. We don't know what he's saying, or maybe we just know a little bit about what he's saying, but we get it. And we love it.
But you feel it.
But you feel it. You feel it. And if you're so inclined, you can go look up the translation, and then you feel it. And it brings everybody together. It just brings this world together. I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day, why we're here in the first place.
I love that.
So yeah, I think, we have reggaeton, we have Afro beats, we have everything. And so now to be able to bring this in the mix even deeper than it already is, it's just another way that we're all connecting with each other through music.
Did you guys, were there any collaborations that surprised you, or any interpretations where you were like, oh shit, that's amazing. I did not expect that.
Yes.
Besides me singing in keys that don't exist. Besides that.
You say that, but it was one of the most moving.
He's humble.
Yeah.
After enough tequila, you might sing in keys that don't exist, but that was only like 2 out of the 4 sessions.
But only, let's be specific, only Teremano.
Yeah, only Teremano.
Only Teremano. But we have some amazing artists on this, obviously, and collaborations. Did any of them not stand out? Because I feel like they all stand out.
Yeah.
But was there a convergence of 2 artists where you were like, oh shit?
Of 2 artists. Go ahead, you guys go.
Gosh, I could talk about everybody.
Well, let me
just. Because it kind of leads us into the song.
I was just gonna say,
should we go into the songs and then hit the rest of this later?
Well, not yet. I got just a couple
okay.
more questions. I think they're important. But you know what? You're right. Let's save that, and then that question will lead us into the songs.
Yeah.
That's better.
That'll be a good transition.
Yeah.
There's a million things we could say. I know.
All right. So I not only have lived this because I live with you, Lauren, and I have seen the commitment from day one. The moment I came home and told you, hey, the dinner went amazing, David Greenbaum said, I'm in, and Disney is 100% in. From that day, and that was months and months ago, we were in Hawaii shooting Jumanji.
Yeah.
And you went to work. And I've known you now for many, many, many years. And I've seen you consistently work and commit to things, your music, your projects. But this was a whole other level that I had a chance to really just sit on the sidelines and watch you work. And I've just been so impressed. I have to give you your flowers. How crazy was it for you, for this project, this scale, this responsibility? It's culture, and it's a culture that's very important to millions, but also building a universe of Moana, and also help create this opportunity for artists who are going to give their heart and soul in every lyric they sing. How difficult was this? Because I don't think you've
Good
slept
question.
for 6 months.
I'm
but you look fine as hell.
still
It's
going
crazy.
strong. It's the makeup, and I think they're putting a filter on the video today. Paris filter.
Paris filter.
So
Like, how did you manage the logistics, the process, and also maintaining a cohesive artistic vision throughout the album? Because that's important too, because you have multiple art. How many artists do we have? 20, 25 artists?
So originally, when we spoke about the project, it was, let's make an album with 10 to 12 songs on there, an
Yeah.
artist a song. And Tiana and Kayla and myself came back to Disney and we said, there's no way that we can
course.
narrow this
You have
down
so
to
many
10 to
artists.
12 people. We have about 50 people. How can we do this? So the number of songs went up.
And
the number
how do
of
you
artists
maintain
went
that
up.
cohesiveness though with
Yeah.
all these artists? Like, how did you do this thing?
Well, I think we have 25 artists on there now until we kind of like hit our maximum bandwidth just to make sure things didn't fall through the cracks. But
But was your goal in the beginning? Was it, okay, I understand the mission and I understand the responsibility, and
Yes.
here we go.
yes, so especially this not being my culture per se, it's yours and it's my mother-in-law's, Ata's, who lives with us most of the time, and our daughters. So I do feel a huge
Well, you
responsibility.
got this culture all up in your DNA, girl.
Period. Do not edit that out.
I already know that's getting cut out.
Baby
It's
number 3.
We love it.
Is there like the after dark version of this?
Sirius XM?
It's in your bloodstream, girl.
Sirius XM After Dark.
Can we dim the lights? No. Okay. Just kidding.
Yes. Knowing that's a good question. Knowing that it's not my personal culture,
Yeah.
but it's actually the culture I've lived closest to for the last 19 years we've been together. With your mom living with us so often, us traveling with us.
It's a long time.
We got together when I was 10 years old. It's crazy.
All right, that's how rumors start.
No.
That shit we're cutting out.
That's
Cut that out. Good God.
look up it up.
Look,
My date of birth.
Look nothing up.
And so I did. I felt a major responsibility to honor the culture, to get it right, to allow everybody the opportunity to shine. And yes, you're juggling so many different artists at the same time. And we keep saying, Tiana and Kayla said, there's something on the album for everyone. And they're right. This world is not just one genre. It's not just one sound. There's, they would call it island reggae. There's R&B. We have soulful singers. There's more of the rock vibes. We have pop vibes. There's so much diversity to the genre or to this culture that it was important to capture a little bit of everything. So that was important, just to make sure that we were capturing everything and everyone, not excluding any part of the genre. There was something else you asked, and it was so good.
How do I smell? Was that what I asked? Everyone wants to know.
What's that cologne?
Yeah, he smells great. It looks like he smells great.
Funny you ask. No.
I said the responsibility. Oh, I'm never going to remember the second half of that. But it was something that involved the three of us.
Well, but let me ask this then. So regarding all of us here, was there a because I have one in my head, but was there a defining moment with this project as we stood it up on its feet where you guys were like, oh, this is the defining moment that in a way brings this entire album together?
Why don't you guys speak to that? Well, I would love to know how it's felt along your journey.
There was one very recently, and I think not as an executive producer on this project, but just as a person, as a human being, and as a daughter. There were two moments that actually it kind of like something was unlocked or embraced, and I was just speaking with you, DJ, about this the other day, and it's when I heard your track.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just saying this because you're right in front of me. I think it hit on a personal level. And Moana is such a world where we embrace the mana wahine, we embrace the chiefess, right? We embrace, I was raised by very strong women in my family, but one of the most influential people in my life is my dad. And he is from Samoa, and one of the hardest working person I've ever known. And with the lyrics, it hit home because my dad's not the most expressive. This is very typical Polynesian as well.
Yeah.
He's not going to use his words to express. He's going to use his actions. He will work and provide day and night, and you might not hear the words "I love you" and "I'm proud of you," but he'll show you in other ways. And so when I heard your guys' song, it hit me on such a personal level that I felt like if my dad did have the words to express how much he loved me, I would imagine and hope and pray that it would sound like that. And coming from the mouth of another Samoan man that is also one of the hardest working people that I've ever met, it hit home on so many different levels. And so, yeah, that made, for me as Tiana, that really was like, whoa, on a personal level, that makes this all come together for me.
Wow.
I create Polynesian music all the time. I choreograph to it all the time. I get to jump on with other artists. But as a listener, I thought this is powerful because most of the people will be listeners. It hit me in a way that I wasn't ready for. Not as a musician, not as an executive producer, but as a person. And that, for me, was the moment I was like, okay, that kind of like glued, that solidified everything for me.
Thank you, sis. Wow, that means a lot. Thank you so much. I know that, you and I had a conversation about that the other day, and for the listeners, I sing a song on this album, and it's untitled because we haven't found a title yet for it because that's important. And I called up Ian Tongi, who you guys may know or you may not. He was the winner of American Idol a few years ago, a beautiful singer. He's a local boy with us in Hawaii, and I sang a song about my 3 daughters and how I would feel about them and how they have inspired me. We'll get into it a little later when we talk about the music and the songs, but it meant so much to me that you said those things, and I told Lauren later on the other night, because I realized that, I had a complicated relationship with my dad, and what you find is you work hard to, I don't want to make my dad's decisions. Those mistakes, I want to learn from those mistakes. But then you also realize, just as a dude, as a man, as you get older and you have kids of your own, it's like, man, there are just some things in my dad's DNA that I can't escape. And you know what? Maybe that's a good thing, because he did teach me these things about hard work, and he raised me with a hard hand and a tough hand and all these things. But when you had mentioned that to me about how moved you were by the song that I sang, but you wish your dad had said those things to you, but you said, but I know he feels it.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was just so moving that he feels it, because like my dad of those generations, like my dad didn't know how to say, hey, come here, I want you to know how much I love you. I love you and I'm so proud of you. I never got that,